Hey, Internet. It's Paul. It's Matt. We just saw, not together, but this weekend, we watched Thor Ragnarok.
Yes.
Thought we'd give our thoughts on said movie. Paul, leading us off, overall thoughts, Thor Ragnarok.
I enjoyed it. Thought it was funny. But I don't know. I mean, it'd probably be a good thing if more of the Marvel movies were even funnier.
Even funnier than this one, or just...
Oh, as funny.
Okay.
But in a way, it does kind of make you question the parts that weren't that. Like, you know, the big fight at the end or whatever. It's like, do you need that? Maybe not. You know? Maybe they could all get along a lot better. You know? It's like they just, you know, like Loki, for instance. He pretty much getting along pretty good there with Thor, you know?
That's right. That's actually one of the few movies we've seen where Loki... Because Loki turns a few times. He is the god of mischief.
Yeah, he's got mischief.
But he doesn't necessarily end... He ends in a good note.
Yeah, he does.
Although, real quick, I enjoyed the movie very much as well. Did enjoy... We'll talk about the comedic beats that we enjoyed here in a moment. Very Guardians of the Galaxy-ish.
Yes.
In that way.
I think so.
Levity. I watched the movie with my wife. She had a really interesting theory, actually, on... Oh, spoilers? We're talking spoilers. Okay, great. Got it. Okay. Post-credit scene. We've got the Asgardians are all on the ship.
Yes.
Headed for Earth.
Yes.
And swamp. Big giant ship, which
Yes.
has been confirmed to be Thanos' ship,
Yes.
shows up.
Yes.
So my wife had a really cool thought, which was when right before they left Asgard,
Yes.
we saw Loki hanging out in the treasure room.
Sure.
Right? He's
Yeah,
trying to
he
get
looked at the...
We have to get Surtur's stuff and
Yep.
give it to... Okay. He also looks at the Tesseract.
He does, looks at it.
He takes it.
Yeah.
Okay. He took the Tesseract.
He took it.
The whole reason that he wanted the Tesseract back in
The first
Thor
Avengers movie.
was
Oh,
to eventually to
sorry.
give it to a guy to give to Thanos.
Yeah.
Basically,
okay.
that was the whole thing was if I give this to Thanos, then we're in good.
Yes.
So what if this movie doesn't end with Loki on being a good guy in that he arranged? That's why Thanos shows up. It's because he's like, hey, I've got the Tesseract. I'll arrange to give it to you. I'll be on this ship. Schwamp. And that's what Thanos has showed up for, to take the Tesseract and then give Loki like a attaboy and then kick Thor out into space where he's going to run into the Guardians.
Wow.
Anyway, so there you go.
That's an interesting idea.
I think it's I give Jackie credit on that one. Jackie gets the Dork Lord's clap.
Sure, yeah.
So, anyway, but yes, otherwise... Superficially, looks like Loki actually does end on a "Hey,
Yeah.
we're on the same team"
Yeah,
note, which
that's
was kind of nice. Yes, lots of probably the most comical, even of the if you take the Guardians movies and this one as the three most comical
Ant-Man,
movies.
maybe.
Yeah, I suppose you could say that it has some comedic moments in it as well. I would say this has the most comedic beats
Yeah.
of any Marvel movie to date.
Sure.
Okay. No, you're
I mean,
not
neck and neck,
convinced.
you know.
Okay.
I mean, you know, with Guardians.
If I just start naming off the beats, it just like you almost forget how many there
Well,
are
that's
because
true.
there's so many of them.
Well, I guess you could, yeah, I mean, perhaps you could argue that more of them have less to do with character than than in Guardians of the Galaxy.
True, they are right. Okay, I can understand
It's
that.
sort of, in a way, they're sort of discursive. Certainly, partly because it's more improvised than the first one. So,
Much as a guy doing
Is the
with an
other
improvised
one.
background, I do appreciate improvised comedic scenes done well,
yes.
and they do them well. Mr. Hemsworth can pull off that arrogant hero that knows he's a hero. It's almost like a little meta statement on himself.
Yes.
But in such a way that doesn't seem manipulative. I don't
Yeah.
know. Like he doesn't. He's good at what he does.
Yes.
Put it
No.
that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. Yeah. It's unfortunate. I think the two previous Thor films did not have that understanding of the character, the most important character.
Right, and obviously, I mean, you would think that has a lot to do with the director, in terms of it's a new director, Taika Waititi. Just from the character he voices, Cork.
In fact,
like you could tell, he has a lot of his own.
Yes.
His own ha-has.
Yeah, and you look at his other movies. Yes, he's very much into the laughs.
And his little sidekick Meek, is that it?
Yes.
With the sword hands. I love sword hands. And then he's carrying him around like, oh, he's dead. I've been carrying him. Oh no, he's alive. I don't know. It's funny.
It was very funny. Yeah, and I kind of felt to go back to the other movies in a way. I kind of felt like I would have preferred Kat Denning to be Jane Foster than. I almost said Winona Ryder when it's not Winona Ryder.
Yeah, Natalie Portman.
It's Natalie Portman.
Who they just do a quick little line of she dumped you, and it's like it was a mutual dumping.
Yeah.
And yes, she is not in the movie. Oh, so you're saying just because of comedic.
Yes.
So okay.
Yeah.
Played for ha-has.
Yeah, I mean, I have that. I think that's one of the things that made Iron Man work so well is that Robert Downey Jr. had a comedic chops that he could bring to the role. So.
Definitely.
And I think you'd say the same thing about Chris Pine and the other Chris.
Chris Evans?
Chris Evans, yes. Both those Chris's have good comedic chops there, and it just helps. It's all if you got a little humor in the dang thing.
Or a lot of humor.
Yeah, or a lot of humor. Yeah, that helps too.
So a couple of the humorous beats. I mean, we're not going to necessarily recount the movie for you. If you've seen the movie, great. If you haven't, go see it. It's really good. But basically, okay, here we go. Thor begins the movie captured by Surtur.
Yes.
We get the exposition. Oh, by the way, I believe Surtur is being voiced by Clancy Brown, who, I could be wrong on this because I didn't check this, but sounded like him. It's the dude who played the Kurgan in Highlander, and as a little callback, in that movie, which is the best movie of all time. No, all right, anyway.
Better than Lord of the Rings?
Almost.
You said the best.
It's just like Jeff Goldblum says, it's a tie. No. He has a skull helmet, anyway. He has a skull helmet in that movie as the big villain, and in this movie, he's a big villain as a skull helmet. All right, there you go. So there's your tie into Highlander.
Interesting.
They didn't play any Queen, unfortunately, this time, but they did play Led Zeppelin, which was pretty awesome. The Immigrant Song.
I missed it. Did you say the actor's name is
Clancy? Clancy?
No,
is he there?
I don't see
it's a voiceover.
There are a lot of people, though, so I haven't even made it.
Oh, he's looking through the IMDb.
Yeah.
So he's captured. Great fight scene. I would say there's probably two memorable fight scenes in this movie. One of them is the opening, and it's because we get to see him use the hammer to its full extent before the hammer gets, spoiler alert, broken, which you see in the trailer is a big deal. But like the fact that he's using the hammer to such extent is really, really
forgot
cool.
that he was really using the hammer before that. I was like, before it was broken? I completely forgot.
Yes.
I didn't remember that fight scene.
Okay, apparently it's not that memorable. But he's flying and the thing's trying to catch him and he puts the hammer in its mouth.
Yeah, I remember now.
I mean, there's a lot of cool scenes.
I forgot about that. I mean, the fight between Thor and the Hulk is obviously what
and then the Thor and the Hulk. That's the second. Those memorable. Are the two.
And the last fight I remembered. That's why I was like,
I didn't remember the last fight as much. Like... Okay. I mean, it looked cool. I liked seeing giant Surtur with the sword.
Yeah, that was like really the Hulk. Cool. He's like, "Oh no, stay away!"
Another comedic beat where it's like Thor says, "Like, well, now that because basically Thor summons Ragnarok, intentionally because his sister Hela gains power from Asgard. So it's like, all right, if I destroy it, then she won't have the power she had. A little weird, but okay, yes. So anyway, he brings it about anyway, and. So his thing is like, well, now all we have to do is let Surtur destroy Asgard without getting in his way. And then you see Hulk leap in and like, no, stop! Don't! Stay busy! Yeah. Hulk is at least sentient enough to pick up direction at this point.
Well, yeah, more than sentient. You can have more like complete sentences. Yeah. He's talking a lot, which is good. More like the comic book Hulk.
Right. Like raging fire.
2 years.
Thor like smoldering fire.
Yes. Yeah, it was very interesting how they set up a brotherly kind of relationship between Thor and Hulk, and then of course, and a more literally brotherly relationship between Thor and Loki. And it's like what I imagine the backstory of Cry for Help when Loki pretends to be injured so that Thor can throw him at anybody, at enemies. Is that he did that
help,
perhaps as kids. Because it's the kind of thing I did as kids, is like, let's come up with some goofy thing to do so that people look at us strangely and we have a little laugh. So
I also found it interesting that Thor, to get in good with both Banner and Hulk, he lies to each of them to say that he hates he likes that version of him better than the other version. It's kind of interesting because you wouldn't think he's like the lying type like that, but he really, I mean, he does have a little bit of his, his dad, Odin, is always known mythologically as a guy who will lie to you. Not to say that Anthony Hopkins' version is that way, but Loki, obviously, God of Mischief, is that way. But
well, that was the thing that perhaps was incongruous in a way, is that I didn't really get a sense of this. Hela talks about this very bad Odin that we didn't even see in the first movie. And it was, thematically powerful that at one point he used to be like that and he stopped being like that.
She made this point. I guess the implication was that once he had Thor, he decided to turn a new leaf, is what it sounded like. When he had you, he decided to be a goody two-shoes. But look at this artwork.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, that reminded me, okay, I got to have my Lord of the Rings moment in any of these things. It's Kate Blanchett.
Do you have a little, little stinger for that?
I should. I need a... Sure, or maybe actual music from Lord of the Rings. But no, that's good.
Yeah, I can't think of anything. Is that it?
That's good. Yeah, good. It's good. The horns calling the clarion trumpets. All right, anyway, no. Because Kate Blanchett and Carl Urban are both Lord of the Rings people in this movie, being brought over to make this movie awesome. Anyway, but Kate Blanchett, she does an exposition in Lord of the Rings as Galadriel, and you see like these little vignettes to like describe the past. So it was just interesting to see these little moving pictures while she describes the past of what is essentially, and some Midgard is Middle Earth. Anyway, so it was just funny that that we see Kate Blanchett as this goddess character doing an exposition of previously in this world using pictures. All right, there you go. That's your Lord of the Rings moment.
Yes.
All right, good. All right, but Carl Urban, I enjoyed his character.
Yes. As the executioner.
Right. Scourge.
Yes.
Machine guns. I was like, you probably have better weapons than that here, but that's fine. He was just like, look, I'm old school. So I'll use less quality weapons,
less magical weapons.
Yes.
I mean, that was to me one of the interesting things about this movie in keeping it from being so purely Norse. Is that you had all that technology on the planet, that garbage planet that they were on. So you had Sakaar. So they had, the Asgardians there, like, making use of technology. And, they had guns in that, too. Him and Loki and Thor
did.
had
Colorful guns. Very colorful movie.
Which whatever.
Cool.
So it's kind of interesting to see.
Jack Kirby.
Yes, that's true.
Valkyrie, I enjoyed her role.
Yes.
And we did see. So
Tessa Thompson.
Tessa Thompson, very good. Westworld. She's the person brought in to help the company get on its feet.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was like, she's not that Australian woman. What are you talking about?
Did she survive? I think she survived.
I can't remember.
She's in that group that's getting shot at the end of Westworld. Spoiler. Anyway, so she might be back for season 2. I don't know. So there's a couple things, like the comedy was awesome. And there were still some emotional beats. There was the beat where Loki and Thor have a couple of moments where they're like, hey, there's the elevator ride where they're talking. Yes. There's the beat where Thor kind of pulls the rug out. He expects Loki to betray him.
Yes.
And then he's like, you are the god of mischief, but you could be so much more.
Yes.
So it was a nice little beat.
Yeah,
I was kind of waiting for him to get hit on the head during that whole thing. It was like, you're talking too long. Something's going to happen to you. But no, okay.
Yeah, me too, actually, yeah.
The scene where Odin dies, although he doesn't die so much as he kind of just dissipates. But
No, death.
But yeah, that was a somber beat. But there were a few other moments that I thought maybe the comedy kind of passed over the fact that, for instance, the Warriors 3 all got killed off.
Yeah.
Two of them got killed off really without any real... Like, at least one of them died heroically.
Yes.
Like, who was that? Hogan? No. Oh. I'm forgetting their names.
I forget their names.
Volstagg and Hogan and...
Schmatter.
That's the thing. We don't really know them that well, so it's like... But I think the idea was, these are major characters from this, and they're dead now.
Yes.
So there are stakes, but...
I mean, and that's, I think, an unfortunate thing about, I was listening to an interview over the weekend with somebody who is a Scandinavian director, and he was saying how he was being asked about whether or not Hollywood was coming for him, and he's like, well, I have a thing, I don't want to kill my characters, and what is it about you Americans where you want to kill your characters? And I wanted to say to him, people believe that stakes are higher if people are dying. Like, some people are upset with Civil War that nobody died. It's like, Ironmonger is like, or not Ironmonger, what is he? War Machine is crippled. That's not enough. He should have died.
Damn it, only crippled. But yeah, so they kind of died a bit without pomp and circumstance. It was just like, poop, poop, dead. Don't speak. We don't want to pay you extra lines.
Yes.
But they died off. So it didn't really have necessarily the emotional weight that I think maybe the intention was. I think the intention was, oh my God, Thor's buddies are all getting killed off.
Sure.
I don't know that I really necessarily...
felt that way, no.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, she's killing off a whole bunch of folks. Yep. She pretty much lays...
And it didn't, feel like... the executioner was especially, he's like, I'm just sweeping up, I'm just a janitor.
Yeah, I'm just a janitor. Yeah, he wasn't that heartbroken in that moment. I mean, you saw him do the look. He did the wistful look for a moment. Oh, she's killing guys. Anyway, yes, what? So we do have kind of a message.
I feel like... is it Heimdall?
Heimdall, yeah.
Heimdall. I don't think he got any comedic beats at all.
He didn't. He still was like, I'm a serious guy.
I'm protecting the kids. Sheesh.
But so we do have... I was a little... confused. I don't know if confused is the wrong word. Maybe I was a little underwhelmed at the fact that, like, if Asgard's a planet... is it a planet or a plane?
I feel like it's a plane.
It just felt like...
realm.
And she did kill off a bunch of folks. She killed off all the
in the
military.
comics, at least, it's sort of like a land in space.
But why could the entire population fit on a ship?
Well, it was a big ship.
Was it that big?
It was pretty
Did
big.
you see Thanos' ship show up? Thanos' ship is like exponentially larger than their ship.
It was very big.
Okay. It was like, it seemed more like a city. I'll just say that. It seemed more like,
that's a city.
Oh, it's Columbus, Georgia. I don't know. Like, there we go.
Yeah.
Let's get you 50,000 people out of here. As opposed to like, a planet, we gotta, there'd be like a massive ships or something. But
yeah, thank God.
it was small, but that's fine.
I feel like, you shouldn't have that many gods running around. I mean, that's supposed to be pretty impressive.
All right. Well, they apparently are going to Norway.
A couple of billion people? Sheesh.
You put a couple of billion people in Norway, you'd probably figure that out. But that does seem to be where they're going, right? So that's we see Odin when he dies. He goes to Earth first, and he says, "This is Norway. Shores of Norway." Boom. So that's it seems to be where they're headed. Now, if they get there, maybe they don't, because with Thanos, and we do know that Thor in the trailer for Infinity War is drifting in space. So
true. You know that. We see, maybe we did see that he didn't have an eye in that one.
He does have both eyes,
Ooh.
which makes you wonder, is it just like a CG effect and they just didn't put it on?
Maybe.
Because they didn't want to give this away?
Maybe, like, big surprise. Missing an eye.
Yeah. Also, it'd be interesting,
Well, I mean, I think they're doing CG the other way.
Uh,
Because he has his eye.
right, so they would
So
just
they just
CG over it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, right. But, I mean, they could have CGI'd over it.
Yes, but they didn't.
But they're like,
Right.
oh, we don't want to give it away, so
Right,
we'll
so
just
they're just saving it.
leave it. I mean, maybe. Or he gains an eye back. He loses his eye.
I heard, I think that he still doesn't have it.
Okay.
I heard that.
I mean, he'd have to learn, I would think, depth. He's going to get a new hammer, I assume, somewhere.
I mean,
but he's going to have to learn depth perception, right?
In the Marvel universe, it's not a problem for Nick Cage.
Yeah, it's not a problem for a lot of folks.
Nick Fury, he's got one eye.
He's probably had time. It was probably like a month after he lost his eye where he's like, God bless it, I can't hit a thing. Oh, everything coming from the right. I'm like, what the? All right. Yeah, and he lost the eye. I don't know. I kind of expected him to have more of a reaction to losing his eye too. Like it seemed like that kind of was like, oh, you hit me, nice shot.
Yeah.
You know, as opposed to son of a bitch, my eye's gone.
Yeah.
He took it well.
Yes.
Put it that
Well,
way.
he is pretty strong.
He is pretty strong. So he learned the kind of the age old proverb that's like, the power was inside you all along.
Yeah.
He had his ruby slippers. And he's just like, there's no place like home. You could see me there clicking my heels together, I'm sure.
See it?
So that the hammer was just a focus
Yes.
for his
His thunder powers.
thunder powers. As Odin said, you're not the god of hammers.
No, he's not.
Which is kind of funny.
Yes,
I like that line.
Yeah, it was a good one.
So yeah, some other comedic beats we liked. I enjoyed. As much as it was very silly, but silly. I laughed so good.
It worked.
Thor throwing the ball off the window in the attempt to break it, and it just bounces back and knocks him down. But it also, I like the fact that it didn't knock him out. Like that was another. Like that would have been too much of a beat.
No, you're right.
But it knocks him down, and he gets up, and he's like, "This is the way the hero does." Something like that, and he leaps up. So it was just like kind of a nice little. I just had a clumsy moment. Now I'm gonna go be heroic.
And I apparently they did this beat in the original Hulk movie with a different actor. Is Banner jumping out of the plane?
The jumping out of the plane onto the Bifrost Bridge.
And apparently just the pain, that's what's enough to make him mad.
Yeah, the boom, and then the wolf running over him.
Yeah.
And like, huh?
He's like,
So yeah, that's interesting too because there are, Captain America jumps out of a plane.
yeah,
Iron Man jumps out of a plane.
sure.
There's a long list of people jumping out of planes in the Marvel Universe without really any obvious form of parachute.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's a bit that I remember from the comics in Civil War when they threw Banner out and he was just like, and I don't think he fell. I think he got angry enough before he hit the ground. I think he hit the ground as the Hulk, not as Banner.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, hitting the ground as Banner was pretty awesome. That was a fun beat because he has he has a good going away line too, where he's like, "You were asking you just said you didn't know who I was. Let me show you who I am."
Yeah.
That was very, very nice. Good comedy beat. I enjoyed the little conversation with Doctor Strange as well.
Yeah,
there was some nice comedy in there, and the fact that he kept moving him around rooms.
Yes,
like,
yes.
Stop with the thing and the moving.
And by the time Loki thought, "Oh, I will show you some magic."
Oh yeah,
magician.
I've been falling for 30 minutes. He was just continually falling. That was great. Jeff Goldblum obviously had a ton of comedy lines.
Yes.
The fact that he's a DJ, I don't know, that just made me laugh hysterically. And the fact that the ship was like an orgy ship, and they pushed the button like, oh, this is probably a fire button, and it's like all the lights come on, the disco lights. Don't touch anything. The fact that he called the thing that just like he killed his cousin. He had to show that he was a bad guy, so he got to kill somebody. Yes. So he brought in relative that did him wrong, and he touched him with the melt stick.
It reminded me of what do you call it? Kingsman. See that?
I did see the
Kingsman. With Samuel Jackson. He was very squeamish about
Mr.
the
Valentine.
violence. He didn't actually want to be doing the violence.
Yeah, it made him throw up.
Making whatever. And so in here too, he didn't want to be a part. Like, what? What are you doing? He didn't actually want the violence.
The goose on the floor is like, oh, ew. The giant, hologram of him as he tries to talk to his people, but he still kind of is like, he's doing it extemporaneously, so he's kind of, talking off the cuff to the people, which is really funny. The fact that Loki at first is terrified of seeing Hulk again.
Yes.
Because he remembers what happened to him, and then he's like, see?
Yeah.
Now you know what it feels like! When Thor's getting tossed around.
Like a rag doll.
Another, excellent comedic beat there. Yes. So, and then, as we mentioned, Cork, the big rock guy, has got some very funny lines as well. Those are the ones that are at least immediately off. I mean, I'm sure there are many others.
Yes.
Those are the ones that immediately come to mind. And just the situation when Thor is talking to Surtur in the beginning and the chain is spinning around. He's like, it is foretold. Asgard will... Hang on, I'm okay. I'm not even doing this. It's just spinning. Okay, continue. That's a innately silly scenario that they embrace. They don't dodge it. They just lean into it.
Yep.
Very good. So we had the two post-credit scenes. One was Thanos showing up, and then we don't see what happens. It just cuts off. And then the other one was Jeff Goldblum.
Yes.
Basically, the revolution had started on Sakaar, and he greets the revolutioners, and it's kind of like, "Hey, congratulations on your revolution! It takes two to have a revolution. Someone's got to be overthrown. So, thanks to me, this worked out. We'll call it a tie."
Yeah.
And then it just blanks out there, which is nice. So he probably doesn't die.
No, he probably doesn't. I wouldn't think so.
So they could bring him back if they want.
Sure.
Which they probably will.
Why not?
Yeah. So at this point, we know that obviously... Oh, another thing that they did, they wrapped up a potential plot hole problem, which was Hela walks into the treasure room and just declares the Infinity Gauntlet a fake.
Oh, yes.
Which is nice. That's a fake. So you don't have to... isn't the Infinity Gauntlet? It wasn't. It was a fake. And so...
Well, apparently, there's two, so one's a right and one's a left.
It could be, right. That's true. You could have
so, there you go.
12 ingots. But they didn't. They didn't go that route.
At least they haven't yet.
Right. Yes, they were like, that's fake.
But she could be wrong. So.
She could be wrong. She did a good job as a villain. We didn't see her die necessarily.
No, not necessarily.
Here's one thing that was a little odd. It was like, so Hela is the previously unknown sister.
Yes.
Of Thor and the adopted sister of Loki.
Yes.
So at the very end, so it's like, Hela's taking control. She scoops out Thor's eye.
Yep, scoops it right.
It's like, oh God, he's dying. He has this moment where he goes back to Norway and he's talking to his dad in a dream state. Yep. And the dad's like, you had the power all along. Use the Force, Luke. And Thor says something like, well, I'm not as powerful as you. And I was like, no, you're more powerful.
Ooh.
And it's like, oh, yeah. And then, what the comma should have continued, the sentence should have continued, and yet still far less powerful than your sister. Because he comes back like, now I'm going to do stuff. Yeah. Oh, I'm still going to get my ass kicked. All right, let me bring in someone who can kill you. It was just an interesting, he learned that he had more power. Not enough, but more than he did before.
Maybe mind power.
Yeah.
Get someone else to fight. Duh.
Yeah, duh. So let me bring Surtur in. It was just an interesting beat of usually in that movie, in a movie like that where you learn you had the power all along, you then have the power to defeat your enemy. Yeah, in this case, nope. Nope. You still get crushed. Yes. So find another way, which he did. But yeah, so we see Surtur giant sword stab the plane of existence. I guess it's killing it, and in so doing is kind of killing Hela, but we don't see her die. So I'm assuming she's not dead. She'll be weakened.
Yeah.
But why not bring Cate Blanchett back?
Right. No. Yeah. Possibly.
Yeah. I liked the helmet thing whenever she went into.
Yeah.
war.
It's funny that people aren't talking as much, although they should be, about Chris Hemsworth coming to the end of his contract. The way that Chris Evans or Robert Downey Jr.
Well, I think Thor 2, most people were pretty low on that movie, so maybe they were like, but now this movie,
yeah,
they're going to be like, whoa, wait,
they
what?
Should be
Thor? It's hard to replace that guy.
Yeah.
Here's a question. I had a little bit of confusion. You can fill me in on this one. Okay, so Valkyrie.
Yes.
Scrapper 142. She was in the group of Valkyries that were sent off to fight Hela back in the day.
Yes, the one named Valkyrie.
She was the one named, exactly. Everyone else was like winged women, but she was like, I'm Valkyrie.
Maybe they're all like, hey, Valkyrie. Oh, no, not you, Valkyrie.
Yeah, Valkyrie.
Yeah,
duh. That's tattoo. It says Valkyrie 107.
Valkyrie, hey, could you Van Valkyrie? No, not you, Valkyrie. The other Valkyrie. The other Valkyrie.
I just call you Val. You, Kiri. Anyway, so she was in the big final battle.
Yep, she was.
And what we see is this flashback where one of the other Valkyries accidentally got in the way of the sword that was meant for her,
sure,
I guess.
Yeah.
But what we don't see is then what happened. Is it implied then that she just ran away? Or we don't know. I mean, like...
We don't know.
Like, she has this memory of like, oh yeah, we were all there and we were all getting killed off. And everyone was getting killed off. And then I wasn't. And now I'm here. I'm like... There's another beat there, isn't there? Where you either she chose to run away,
yeah,
which would be interesting,
yeah,
or she just like was unconscious and woke up and everyone was gone, which is kind of less interesting. I think it would actually.
Everyone was dead. You mean?
I guess I wanted to see the beat where she chose to run away, if that's indeed what it was.
I hear you.
Because we didn't see that.
Right, it's not explicit.
Yeah,
or at least in that viewing, it wasn't explicit.
Like, I was scared in that moment, but I'm going to overcome my fear this time to do this again, do it right. Anyway, I don't know. I just didn't. They never said it.
No, they never.
So I kind of was like,
they're like, yeah, let's put another joke.
She's drunk and falls off of her ship.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, quality.
Yep.
Quality entertainment.
Very good.
We've got, for better or worse, we got Justice League coming out in a couple of weeks.
Oh yeah.
Gonna be just as funny. Oh, it's gonna be fine. We'll probably watch it. I'm gonna go see it.
I'll definitely see it.
Okay, we're gonna see it. We're gonna talk about it.
I mean, I'll say it here if I haven't said it before. I grew up with comics. I feel like the people that make these movies kind of depend upon the people who grew up with comics to go see them. You know, there are a bunch of people who are like, oh, another comic book movie. I'm not one of those people. Now, there are things that I dislike. I'm not going to see that. Like, I intended to see the Fantastic Four movie. I still haven't seen it.
Yeah.
I started to try to watch it a couple of times. It's just painful. But I don't begrudge them making it, that piece of crap. Go ahead, make all the pieces of crap that you're going to make.
Because many of these are not pieces of crap.
No, many of them aren't. Sometimes you're surprised. Like, wow, I thought that was going to be a piece of crap.
It's insane when you think of... me, little kid in the 70s. I didn't read comic books to the level you did. I read some. I had like, ooh, like yard sale. Here's a Spider-Man. But to think that someone could pull it off on screen in a live-action way that was believable. Just that.
Yes,
I mean, much less a good story and well-directed. Just the fact that it could be, you could watch it and go, there's a god and he's got a hammer and he uses it to fly. Yes, I buy it. The fact that they can pull that off is insane.
Right, yes, and to the level that they do, it's like, you think back to Lou Ferrigno as the Hulk, it's like that.
With that 70s Spider-Man?
Good,
those giant bug eyes that didn't move.
And it's like even less convincing than Batman running up a wall. It was like...
His spider web was just it was like a giant... It was a net. It was just it was like he went to like a supply store and bought a net and then threw it on a guy. I'm Spider-Man.
Yeah. So
it's amazing.
It's much great. Yes.
Yeah.
Very fun.
They pulled it off, and so yes, we will go and see it.
Yes.
And I'm going to say right here, I'm going to be as open-minded as I can be, which is going to be open-minded.
How are you going to do that?
I don't know, but I'll figure it out. I'm not gonna think of Suicide Squad. I'm not gonna conjure that image.
You're not gonna think of Batman vs Superman, huh? Huh? It's the precursor.
I'll think more about Wonder Woman, which was better.
Oh yeah.
And more recent.
It certainly does seem like it will feature Wonder Woman more. So.
Yeah. And there's a lot of Flash is gonna try to add the comedy. according to the trailers.
Right,
Flash is their attempt at like, look, we can marvel this up.
Yeah.
Damn it, watch him.
Right.
He's funny.
So I will attempt to laugh at him.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah. Anyway, go see Thor Ragnarok. It's awesome. We will be back very shortly to talk about Star Trek Discovery Episode 8. We're getting near to the mid-season finale.
Yeah, just one more.
So for that, hit subscribe. You get notifications, likes. You can tell us how stupid we are.
Yes.
And I'll try to make a comment back if you're like not saying die.
Yeah. Or
please don't do that.
expletives.
Yeah. Paul was the one who didn't like stuff. I don't like
stuff.
See? There.
Yeah.
So it's not
I
me.
confessed.
Okay. Good. Yeah. Anyway. Bye, everybody.